Welcome to Read in Minutes. Here's a short summary of the book, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. If you enjoy it, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now let's get started. In a world turned upside down by an alien invasion, humanity's survival hangs by a thread. The story of The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey takes us through a terrifying journey where the enemy is relentless and the battle for survival is brutal. At the heart of this tale is Cassie Sullivan, a 16-year-old girl who finds herself thrust into a fight she never imagined. The invasion began with the first wave, a devastating electromagnetic pulse (EMP) that plunged the world into darkness. It was as if someone had flipped a switch, turning off all the power across the globe. Planes fell from the sky, cars stopped in their tracks, and all communication devices were rendered useless. Chaos spread as people struggled to comprehend what was happening. Without electricity, society quickly fell apart. The comforts and conveniences of modern life vanished overnight, leaving humanity in a primitive state of confusion and fear. The others, the mysterious alien invaders, watched as the world crumbled. The second wave was even more catastrophic. The others targeted Earth's natural forces, triggering massive earthquakes and tsunamis. Coastal cities were wiped out as the oceans rose and swallowed them whole. The death toll was unimaginable. Those who survived the initial destruction were left to face a world that had been dramatically altered. Entire regions became uninhabitable, and millions of lives were lost. The survivors were left to pick up the pieces, but they still had no idea who was attacking them or why. The others remained hidden, their intentions unclear, but their power was undeniable. Just when humanity thought it couldn't get any worse, the third wave struck. The others released a deadly virus, a plague that spread through the air with terrifying speed. It began innocuously like a common cold, but it quickly escalated. Infected individuals would bleed from their eyes, noses, and mouths before succumbing to a painful death. Hospitals were overwhelmed, and doctors could do nothing to stop the virus. It spared no one, young, old, rich, poor. Everyone was vulnerable. The virus wiped out 97% of the human population, leaving only a small fraction of people alive. The survivors were left in a world filled with the dead, a world where every breath could be their last. By the time the fourth wave hit, the remaining humans were desperate. But the others had devised an even more sinister method to eliminate the survivors. They created silencers, human-looking aliens who blended in with the population, only to betray and kill them. These silencers were the ultimate predators, and their mission was clear: eradicate the last remnants of humanity. No one could be trusted. The paranoia that gripped the survivors was intense. Neighbors turned against neighbors, and even family members began to doubt each other. The human race was on the brink of extinction, not only because of the aliens but because of the fear that consumed them from within. In the midst of this devastation is Cassie Sullivan, a teenager who once worried about homework and crushes but now only cares about staying alive. Cassie has lost everything. Her mother died in the third wave, and her father was brutally murdered by soldiers who were supposed to be helping. Her younger brother, Sammy, was taken away by these soldiers, and Cassie is determined to find him. She is alone, armed with a rifle, and driven by the need to rescue Sammy. But the world is no longer the one she knew. It's a place where death lurks around every corner, and trust is a luxury she can't afford. Cassie moves cautiously, always on high alert, knowing that the next person she encounters could be her last. While on her quest to find Sammy, Cassie is ambushed and shot by a silencer. She barely escapes with her life, collapsing in a forest, believing she is going to die. But fate has other plans. Cassie wakes up in a warm bed, her wounds carefully tended to. A young man named Evan Walker has rescued her and brought her to his farmhouse. Evan is gentle and kind, a stark contrast to the brutality that Cassie has endured. He nurses her back to health, and as they spend time together, Cassie begins to let her guard down, something she swore she would never do again. Evan tells her that he lost his family in the waves and is now alone, just like her. Cassie finds herself drawn to Evan, despite her resolve to trust no one. But she can't forget about Sammy. Her brother is still out there, and Cassie knows she must find him, no matter the cost. She asks Evan for help, and he agrees, but Cassie begins to notice that Evan is not like other people. He is stronger, faster, and more skilled at survival. Cassie starts to suspect that Evan might not be entirely human. While Cassie fights for survival, her brother Sammy is taken to a military base known as Camp Haven. The soldiers there tell the children they are being trained to fight the others. Sammy, only 5 years old, is frightened but obedient. He is given the nickname Nugget and taught how to use a gun. At Camp Haven, Sammy meets a boy named Ben Parrish, a former high school heartthrob who Cassie had a crush on before the invasion. Ben, now called Zombie, has been hardened by the loss of his family and the horrors he has witnessed. He becomes a leader among the children, determined to protect them, but as time passes, Ben starts to realize that something is terribly wrong at Camp Haven. The soldiers are brainwashing the children, turning them into cold-blooded killers. Ben begins to question everything he has been told, suspecting that the true enemy might be the very people who claim to be saving them. As Cassie and Evan prepare to infiltrate Camp Haven to rescue Sammy, Cassie uncovers the shocking truth about Evan. He is a silencer, one of the others. Evan confesses that he was sent to kill her but couldn't bring himself to do it. He has fallen in love with her and now wants to help her save her brother. Cassie is devastated by this revelation. She feels betrayed, yet she knows she needs Evan's help. Together they break into Camp Haven. Cassie is reunited with Sammy, but their escape is not easy. The base is heavily guarded, and the soldiers are on high alert. It is then that Ben, who has also discovered the truth about Camp Haven, leads a rebellion. The children, now armed and trained, rise up against the soldiers in a desperate battle for their freedom. In the chaos, Evan sets off explosives that destroy the base, creating a diversion that allows Cassie, Sammy, Ben, and the other children to escape. But Evan stays behind, choosing to sacrifice himself to ensure their safety. Cassie is heartbroken, torn between her feelings for Evan and her duty to protect Sammy. They manage to escape, but the victory is bittersweet. The fifth wave has begun, and the others have taken their war to a new level. They are no longer just attacking from the outside. They are manipulating the very fabric of human society, turning survivors against each other in a twisted game of survival. As the story ends, Cassie, Sammy, Ben, and the remaining survivors are once again on the run. They have no clear destination, but they know they must keep moving. The world is a dangerous place, and the enemy is everywhere. But despite the overwhelming odds, Cassie is determined to keep fighting. She has learned that in this new world, the most important thing is to hold on to your humanity. Even in the face of overwhelming darkness, love, hope, and the will to survive are the only things that can keep them going. Cassie knows that the battle for Earth is far from over. The fifth wave has begun, and the others are relentless. But she is ready to face whatever comes next. She will do whatever it takes to protect her brother and the people she cares about. The fight for survival is just beginning, and Cassie Sullivan is prepared to take on the challenge, no matter the cost. The story of the fifth wave is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can be a powerful weapon against the forces of destruction.